Hi, welcome to another episode of No Ordinary Woman Chat Show. I'm your host, Miss Kazmak, and my co-host right over there, this beautiful mama,
Janelle Rayburn. Hey guys, good to join you again for another week.
So, Janelle, how have you been?
I'm really well, Kaz. How are you doing?
I'm very well, Good. I'm really excited about this guest that we have on, on the show right now. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm really a bit gassed to be quite honest about it because it's something so unique and he's just an amazing young man. But
don't give anything away.
Not just yet.
Before we get on to him though, how has your week been?
My week's been really good.
Yep.
My dad got baptized today.
Oh,
yeah, my dad
amen.
got baptized.
That's blessed.
He's giving himself to the Lord.
Big up, Dad.
Yes, Dad. So so that was a really that was just like the highlight of my weekend.
Oh, yeah. Brilliant. And you're wearing my favorite color, by the way, mustard. You're looking very nice.
Thank you so much, and likewise.
Thank you. And I have to big up Chantel from Amal. And once again, she's provided this fabulous top for me to wear. So Chantel, thank you again.
Great. Well, without further ado, let me let you guys know about who we have on the show right now. So we've got a gentleman by the name of Jossy Cambridge Simmons, who is a DJ, he's a nanny, he's a nursery teacher and a director of his own company called Jossy Care Ltd. Joss is changing the narrative by going against the grain as a male childcare specialist. He's passionate about caring for children from birth to young adulthood. He established Jossy Care Ltd in 2007 to provide a wide range of childcare solutions based on his knowledge and expertise amassed throughout his career in childcare. He's very well respected in the field. Some have been dubbed in by the baby whisperer. So let's meet this young man that we have on our show right now.
The baby whisperer.
Yes.
Hi guys.
Hi.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming. How are you?
I'm really well, thank you. I'm really well. It's been a really good journey. Amazing, emotional, overwhelming. And I've realised everything's interlinked because I'm a very big believer in feminine energies. And that's what's kind of taught me a lot, working with mums, having the mum I do, having 3 aunties, and now I'm on a podcast with 2 lovely women myself, and it's kind of come full circle, if that makes sense.
I mean, I've never met a male nanny before, so there's a first for everything, and daddy daycare comes to mind. I don't want to cliche it, but it does.
Yeah, it does.
But meeting you in real life is, for me, is kind of mind-blowing because, you know what, I think we all suffer from stereotyping, and you think nanny and you think a woman, or you maybe think,
Mary Poppins.
Mary Poppins,
yes.
Right? So how on earth did you get into childcare as a man?
From having little brothers, I used to look after them quite a lot.
How many brothers have you got?
I've got 2. One's just turned 17, one turned 16 carnival weekend, and being in their lives was like a big influence as a role model. Both their dads were around full time, but I used to have a lot of school runs, being late on the school run, being on time in the school run, and I used to mix and match with his friends as well. I did volunteer work in my brother's first nursery, and did volunteer work in his primary school. His teacher said that I was really good with children, I should go for it. And I think around the same time, I was looking for something to do, like a career. I was kind of stuck.
Roughly, how old was you at this time?
18, 19.
Okay.
So I think I was working in Harrods at the time as a Christmas temp. And around that time, I got approached by a parent whose child had calmed down that I was making a sell to. I used to work for ABC Carpets. They sold Persian rugs, about £20,000 for a doormat.
Wow.
And they wipe your feet on.
They're handmade, so imagine Knightsbridge and Harrods being Harrods, etc. I calmed down the lady's daughter, and then during that process, she was like, wow. To me, I couldn't sell this carpet if your child's crying. And I felt kind of bad that you've left your child to cry just to buy this rug that isn't going nowhere right now. So I calmed the child down. Mum was really grateful, come back another day and asked me to babysit.
Hold on. So you was working in Harrods.
Yes.
I just want to get the picture in my head. and customers come
Yeah.
to purchase this carpet that costs us a hell of a lot of money, and her child is crying. You
Yeah.
calm down the child, and she's come back the next day and asked you to babysit this child.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
And I was like,
In Knightsbridge.
yeah, I was like, I don't know how to do this because babysitting your brothers isn't babysitting, it's family.
Yeah.
So I think I spoke to my mum. My mum met the lady because I just wasn't sure. I didn't know about safeguarding, didn't know about anything. Looked after her child a few times. And then she was really persistent, saying to me that you should work with children, go for it. My mum felt the same way. My mum then found an advert in Islington Gazette
Right.
for Asquith Day Nurseries.
Yeah.
Then the biggest nursery brand in the UK, or one of, at the time. And then I walked into the nursery interview, got a job on the spot, and I've been working with kids since.
Wow. And this is from the age of 19.
Yes. And for me, everything's so full circle where it was in the area I grew up in called Finbury Park.
Right.
I used to go Saturday school opposite it. My dad was from the area. It's like it was home for me. It was like it's a big part of my life, Finbury Park. So the fact it started from there, and a lot of things started from there for me beforehand, it was like,
It's quite profound, isn't
Yeah.
it? So let me ask you something. As a young man, 18-year-old, probably got lots of friends,
Yes.
you know, kind of want to go out,
Yes.
do things that usual young 18-year-old
Yeah.
boys, men do. When you told your friends, or when your friends found out that you're
Yeah.
going to be a nanny,
yeah.
how did that go down?
They was all for it because they knew I was working in nurseries from 19 up until the age of 29, and I've managed nurseries, been room leader in nurseries, children's centres for the government, worked in care homes, and worked with children with severe mental health issues, worked in youth clubs, running workshops, and my friends always knew I was working with children, so they've always been supportive. And where I might have had friends that were rather unruly, quote unquote, they never got me into the mix-up.
Right. Well, you never go into the mix.
They'd make sure I wouldn't get involved. They'll be the ones to speak up, be like, no, leave him, because they knew I couldn't get arrested for anything.
Yeah,
Like
because
DBS.
obviously of your
Yeah.
occupation. That's
And
cool, isn't it?
like, and my friends weren't stupid. Like, I haven't got any friends that have been incarcerated or ever been arrested. And I think it's like, I'm now one of my best friend's daughter's godfather, and I met him when I was 15.
Right.
And I've got Tay, Sam, Roshana, Riley, 4 godkids.
Oh, wow.
Do you have any
And-
children of your
No,
own?
not yet.
Okay.
And I've realised everyone that's made me godparent has been of influence in my life previously, and they've all been so supportive of what I do. And I think that's being 18 and doing it. It came second nature. I just happened to get qualified, and I happened to be the only male in every nursery I ever walked in. I was the only male that was there full time. There's other guys that were in and out,
Right.
kind of inconsistent. I was
Yeah.
there full time, and the Jossy Care name stemmed from my godmother used to call me Jossy Wossy, like Worcestershire sauce,
Yeah.
the old like ketchup sauce, and then children used to call me Jossy because they couldn't ever say Joss.
Josh. Oh, wow.
And Jossy Care stemmed from me seeing the girls I worked with babysitting. I made a business card on Vistaprint, and then gave it out, and then Jossy Care just stuck. I registered the name, I think 2005, and the name stuck, and I had a business plan then, and it's come to fruition over the years where I'm now run a childcare service.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
It is. Tell us more about Jossy Care Ltd.
Yes.
This
And-
business that you started.
Jossy Care stemmed from me wanting to be a nanny, but not for one particular family. I wanted to I wanted to help everybody, because I'm kind of like a big believer in it takes a village to raise a child.
Yes.
Jossy Care is that village, and no child stays for longer than they should. A lot of nannies have attachments with children that are quite unhealthy.
Yeah.
I have an attachment, but it's healthy, and I want you to move on. Like I help parents find nurseries when it's the time's right, because you can only learn so much from one person.
Yes.
And it stemmed from also not being able to get jobs through agencies because I'm a male. I get told that, oh, you should be a junior nanny or au pair. Au pairs get minimum wage and
Yeah.
live in.
Yeah.
I've never wanted to live in. And if I did, it was the roles that I've applied for were nice paid roles, but often get told you haven't got experience. Or even up until last week, I got told, oh, you're not what we're looking for. You lack experience. And I have all of the right experience and qualifications and references. And I'm still looking. I still look for jobs through other agencies because much as I have my own business, I still need to work.
Yeah.
And I don't always get it.
Yeah.
And I don't take their families.
Yeah.
I would sit there, and if the agency was called Chat Show, I work for Chat Show. I'm never going to mention what I do.
Right.
But I don't know if if they're scared of me but I've been blackballed somewhat, and every agency I go to now, the biggest ones in the country, tell me no.
Wow.
It's when I send an email, I'm very confrontational. So I send a big email, passionate, this, that, the other, and I tweet it, and it gets retweets, and everyone sees it, and then they just ignore me.
Wow.
If that makes sense. So that's where Jossy Care. Jossy Care stemmed from me not being able to, then making my own door and going through with that. But still, I want to still help everybody, if that makes sense.
Yes.
I'm not against them, but they don't. I think a lot of it is they don't know how to market us men or market something that's different.
Yeah.
And if I can be so bold as to say, I think the challenge for you is double because you're a black
Yes.
man in that space.
Yes,
so
as
it's
well.
not just that you're a male, but you also, have that challenge.
And it's crazy because parents approach me for my services. They DM me on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, my business page, and be like, oh, we've heard about you, or I found your website, are you available for a meeting? So for the fact that they tell me no, but parents find me, I never offer my services to people unless you put up an advert. It's like...
That's God working in your favour.
Yeah, and that's the universe.
Yes,
the universe works in ways
absolutely.
we'll never know.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm patient with life. I take my time. I fail. But it's the failure that makes it worthwhile. I'm not trying to succeed right now.
But the failure makes success.
That's
You can't
right.
succeed
Without the failure.
Yeah.
You need a failure in order for you to succeed, because if you wasn't going through it, then it'd just be pointless, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So in regards to your daycare as well, because I understand you also offer support to other men as well. So can you tell us a little bit more about that?
At one point, a few years ago, I used to do a father and baby group, which is like mother and baby groups, but I just called it father. Parents were welcome to come with their children, and we'll have conversations about issues parents face, confidence issues, things on how to make Play-Doh, change nappies, because as a new parent, not everyone knows how to change a nappy.
True.
It's not common sense.
Yes.
And also, I did used to do a little bit of mediation, because a lot of issues that parents face is sometimes the lack of communication, or the emotion they have takes over, and then they act accordingly, which is understandable, but sometimes that's the issue to why nothing can be solved. And as for helping with fathers, it's giving them the confidence to pick up your child from school, realise you have to be on time, because if you're late, social services will turn up to the house because you're always going to be late, and show them how to be consistent. Because as for the mums just want consistent time and love. They don't want your money. And I've never heard a mum say, I haven't got any money, we can't do this to their child. Mum did it.
Yeah.
And that's not me saying it to sound cute. Mum did it. So as for the men that tend to say I haven't got any money, how dare you? Because we was raised on a vibration where we couldn't, but in the cupboards we had spam, bullet cake and rice. And,
Come on now.
And we would never know when mummy didn't have it.
Come on now. Mum just rusted up and it made it look like
as a
Sunday
man,
dinner,
I haven't got children, but I couldn't stomach saying to my child's mother, whether I'm with her or not, that I haven't got any money, I can't have them. My dad's never said that to my mum. And they're not together, they've never really been together. But a lot of what I know stems from me watching my parents and learning from them, and learning love from them, and that's what I put into everything.
So talk more about your dad then, because it sounds like he
my
was
dad's
a key influence.
Been a very big influence on teaching me values and love, because he loves passionately, and I think I love even more passionately. Let me not cry, but wow, like he loves really passionately, and it's taught me to love selflessly and give. I don't give to receive. I could have nothing in my pocket, but I'll find something and give it to you. And that's when Jossy Care comes into it, to give something that I can't ever get back. If that makes sense. Yeah.
I got my makeup on and I ain't trying to... That's just so beautiful, and I love the fact of what you stand for in terms of, because a lot of people do give to receive back, you know, and I could see the passion about you, your energy, you know, your vibration. I could just feel it straight away, you know.
Definitely.
It's just, wow. But also, what I wanted to touch on, if you don't mind, is in your 20s, you know, you was going through depression and everything else. Could you share a bit more about that?
With depression and anxiety, it's more from not speaking. And the more you know, it can become to your detriment, because you just become too smart for your own good. And you give yourself the answers, but sometimes you need a conversation with someone. And life takes its toll on you. A lot of it is sometimes self-inflicted, where you might repeat certain situations all the time. So say, for example, you're not good with money. That situation can give you anxiety or depression, for the fact that it's your fault you're in that situation, but a conversation can give you the right advice to speak up on it. And then that can lead into other stuff where you might not want to get up and go anywhere. You might want to stay in the house, etc. You might not want to go out. And what I've learned from that is to have outlets. I write a lot. So my captions on Instagram might not be about how I feel, it's about the picture or whatever I put up. But writing and letting my words articulate and flow like water literally gets it out of me. I cook. I love cooking. And cooking, like, cooking's the one time you're in control of everything.
What's your best dish?
My best dish is, I'm pescatarian now, so it's usually a fish dish, like a snapper or salmon. When I was eating meat, stewed chicken, like a lamb chop and lasagna, apple crumble.
And so you have to have a dessert as well.
Yeah, and apple crumble apple crumble and sour and fresh cream. Because you make more crumble than apple. We only make it for the crumble. And cooking kind of was a good outlet. Writing, going for walks, learning that it's okay to not be okay. It's perfectly fine.
I think that's key, because I think so much of us is trying to, because we obviously have this pressure with the social media and everything, we're trying to live this perfect kind of life, and it's impossible, because nobody's life is perfect, you know what I mean? And I like the fact that you actually found strategies to help to cope with depression, do you know what I mean? But in regards to you being a man going through all of that, what would you say to another young man or a grown man?
Cry.
Cry.
Because I believe tears cleanse the soul. Like when you use water to wash your hand, it cleans you. Same way your tears do. And speak. And go where you can grow, and go where the love is. Because sometimes you might get a conversation from someone that doesn't sit well with you, that isn't for you, and that might push you back to never want to speak again. But find someone you can speak to. And also, the little things you enjoy doing in life, do them. So if you've got a morning routine where you might iron your shirt before you jump in the shower, and that gives you that vibe, do it. Because I know I've got little routines in the morning that I enjoy doing, that when I do them, I feel on top of the world. Like this morning, I knew I was going to a podcast, so I ironed my stuff yesterday. I ironed some stuff this morning. And then I'm seeing someone, so with the girl that I'm seeing, we had a nice conversation in the morning. She went me to the train station, and I made my way out. That's a nice routine, where when I stay at hers, I walk her train station in the morning before she goes to work. It makes me feel good. But it's those little things that you might do for yourself that you should do. So. And
the thing is, those things that you're talking about, they're simple.
They're simple stuff.
They're simple things.
They're
nothing.
And they're free.
It's not massive or anything like that. It's not overly complicated.
And also, I get a good vibe of phoning my friends and asking how everyone is. That makes me feel good. So I try to do that every so often, or send a text in the morning to everyone, say have a good day. I don't have to get a response, but it makes me feel okay. So I just do exactly what it is that I want to do.
I can certainly, like we were talking about your energy, I can certainly see why you would be amazing. You are amazing with children, because actually it's a natural gift. It's something that's been given to you by the universe, and now you're letting that out, and you're letting that shine, and you're drawing people in, and you're drawing, I mean, you know, back to how it all started in this Persian rug shop. I mean, who would have ever thought, right?
I never would have imagined I would have been this far. And then I've had a thought about doing podcasts and interviews. I had 2 today, and I've got 1 next week.
There you go.
The list I sent you, I've got 10 so far. So the universe is just working.
It's speaking. So as a man in the field of childcare, which is against the grain, it's not what would be considered the norm. What advice would you give to another man who is considering into the field of childcare, but maybe is struggling with, oh, that's not what a man should be doing, or those kinds of negative kind of rhetoric around men in childcare?
Yeah. If you have a child, volunteer in your son's nursery or your daughter's nursery. Look at the qualifications that you can gain from it, because there's child psychology, early years childhood studies. You can be an EYFS teacher, so teach a reception class, so you've got a PGC and you're a teacher. As for nannying, being a qualified nanny, you're even more sought for, because there's not a lot of nannies aren't qualified. They don't have to be. There's no law.
Yeah.
And as for nannying as well, realizing that you can, and you don't know it until you try it. Because a lot of men get labelled that, oh yeah, you'll be great with the big kids, they'll love you.
Yeah.
But you're probably also great with babies, because there's no law or rule to say that only women are good with babies because they can conceive. When some mums aren't always maternal and some dads ain't paternal. It comes over time. And it's great parenting skills. Where I might not be the great dad that I think, but I've got training.
Yes.
If that makes
and
sense.
you've got to be amazing
Yeah,
dad.
I've got a lot of training from it.
Yeah.
And just go for it, and also look online of the kind of jobs you can apply for, so you can see the salaries, if it's the money you're trying to look at that makes sense to you. And it brings out a part of you don't know what is there, because I'm a big believer in being childlike. So you got to take it back to the root chakra to then blossom up.
That's where the magic happens.
And I think you don't realise you've got children on set helping out.
Yes, we have.
That's it.
Big up Nyla and Neve, by the way.
And indirectly, subconsciously, that's that root chakra that children bring the element to it, and kind of it just stems back from there.
Yeah, very true. So I think you've proved that it's possible. You face challenges as a man, but you've proved it's possible. You've proved that men have as much right to be in the space and the field of childcare as women. But there must be some changes that need to happen within the childcare industry for it to fully embrace the male in that space. So what changes would you like to see?
Market us well. So in the adverts that I often see out and about on social media, on TV, on billboards, have men and women in the adverts. Do more events around childcare and nannying, but try to make them marketable into every kind of service user, and have men speak about being nannies, and have a man that's in that field speak up and say, yes, I'm a nanny. And I think a lot of parents, because my biggest advocates are my clients, my families that I work with. If these families were to come and speak up on behalf of the nannies that they employ, everyone will be dumbfounded. If my parents were to come and speak, I might have had their child once, but if I've left a good vibration there, they're going to have something highly to say about me. And as for childcare, the most important person is the child, then the parents. So a lot of it's that, as well as market us right. When I phone up agencies, we haven't got any jobs for men. It's not a male or female field. I've been asked to be a birthing partner.
Right.
That was never the plan. The family put me on a doula course. Come December. So that in itself shows you that it's not a man and woman thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Because recently I was reading an article on BBC News, and they were talking about, like, obviously there was a young guy, I think, he was qualified to work in a nursery. He was there within like 20 minutes. He was asked to come out.
Oh, wow.
And they basically just said, he's got to go. It's nothing to do with you personally, but the parents, the mothers, whoever saw, they just said, no, he's got to go. Do you know what I mean? Because he is a man within that area, and the way they saw it, it should only be females. So in regards to somebody that is being faced with that, what would you say to them to encourage them to continue?
To not give up.
Yep.
There's not much you can do, because your workplace as an employer should hold you in high regard as a good employee, regardless of your sex or gender. It's happened to me once where I was key working for a certain child. The mum in the nursery had ups and downs, as you do. The mum one day turned around and said she doesn't want Joss to change her child's nappy. Fine, I respect that. The nursery staff turned on her and no one spoke to her when she walked in.
Oh, to the parents.
Yeah, that wasn't fair. Bearing in mind this lady was a black lady, so I knew it was a bit deeper than me just being a man. You've got an issue with that. I'm perfectly okay with that. I didn't feel no way. And I still spoke to mum. Mum would come in, I'll still speak. I didn't kind of get upset over it. In the end, 2 weeks later, the mum's phoned me to babysit.
Wow.
Interesting.
And it wasn't by force, she didn't have to. I got random phone calls on Green High Road walking down. Hi Joss, it's so-and-so. I said, hello, hi, oh, it's so-and-so, can you babysit? And I'm like, are you sure? I said to me, yeah. Sent her my CV, babysat and was doing school run for her for a few weeks.
That's interesting.
So it's kind
Did
of
you
showed
have a
me...
question and ask her why, or did you just leave it to...
No, because like I've spoken to my mum and a few people I know, we have our own perspectives and views due to sometimes hidden issues that you can't just bring up to strangers. So I respect it, and I kind of want parents to be fearful with who they give their children to and question it. Because due to my own detriment, families hand me their children confidently because of me. But as much as I might be good or your friends might say I'm amazing, still question it. I have meetings with parents every day to sign up to my services, and I say to parents, it's fully okay if we get on, but you don't want me to childcare. You don't have to, there might be no reason, but you don't need to like everything in life. And then eventually we end up being friends. You might go out for drinks, but I just don't give them childcare. But it's business, it's not for everybody.
That's right.
And their perspective, you spoke about perspective, I think it's an important thing that outside of the realm of childcare, an important message that our viewers, I think, should hear and understand is that sometimes or often when people behave in a certain way, it's nothing to do with you.
No.
We always internalize.
We always think it's us, isn't it?
Oh, they spoke to me like that because that person could have had the day from, or the week, or the year, or whatever from hell, right?
And even back to the story what you said about the young lady, you know, it could have even been something that she may have experienced, that somebody may have done whatever to a child or whatever. So instantly that could have brought that memory and just thinking, no, I've got to protect my child here. Do you know what I mean? So
be cautious.
And it was difficult because they made her feel very paranoid in a way, and she thought I was upset with her. So when I did babysit, we had a big conversation. Dad came back later and we hugged. Because I get it, you're not meant to be okay with everything. It's just...
That's her prerogative, isn't it?
It's turned its face over and now you're okay with it. And now you're one of my biggest supporters. So it's like, I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful.
Okay, so we're going to be winding down real soon. But before we do, who is your female role model?
Mummy.
Oh, Mummy.
I don't call her Mummy, Mum. But because it's my mum that's always told me to be myself. She hasn't really told me, she's allowed me to be myself. Where my mum, where I've been dating, when I've just dated girls, my mum's been okay with that. My mum's been, we've been raving together. My mum likes Red Groove, my mum likes house music.
Yeah, she likes house and tune, right?
And that's the reason why I like garage and house music. My mum's got me into DJing. My dad bought me the decks. My mum introduced me to house music. Gave me my first Super D CD. My mum's Super D's biggest fan. I'm now good friends with Super D.
Wow. Your mum sounds cool, man.
It's like we've gone Ministry of Sound together. We've gone like Shubs's, and where we've gone out with the family. It's gone on till 6 a.m. in the morning. I'm in the car sleeping.
Mum's
still raving. So my mum's been my biggest role model because she's always worked. I've been working since 15, 16. My first job was in McDonald's. She's helped me realise how to have a CV, how to behave in a professional environment. She says it's never a black thing. If you call it that, it's going to be it forever. So I've never seen it as I'm black, I've got to behave a certain way. It's there, but it's not in my head. As well as my email address, joss.cambridgesimmons@gmail. My mum said have your surname and name in the email address so it's legible. Little things like that. And also resilience, like women are the strongest beings walking this earth.
Come on now.
Mummy bared me in her belly. I'm bigger than her, but I'm not bigger than her.
Yeah.
And my dad speaks highly of my mum the same way. My dad says that if he was to ever do it again, he would have another child, have the same child again with my mum, and have the same other child, my other brother, with his mum. He wouldn't choose anybody else. He wouldn't choose any other mothers for both of his children. He wouldn't change it at all.
That's beautiful. Oh my gosh.
And that's how I see love, because you don't stop loving, but you let go of some of the strings.
Yeah.
And mummy and daddy have taught me that, and it's that feminine energy that I keep speaking on. I've got 3 strong aunties, and they've all got 2 daughters each that are very strong women, and I've got 2 best friends that are very strong women that are probably watching this, Leanne, Fiona, 3, and Raquel, my daughter's godmom, that are very 3 strong women. The woman I happen to be dating now is a very strong woman, and I'm so supportive of it, because it's, as black women, yes, but then as women on the whole, a bigger yes.
Yeah.
Because eventually we want to teach our children that it's no longer a colour thing, we're fighting that battle for them. So when it comes to them, they no longer have to even talk about their skin complexion or their hair. They can be in spaces and be who they want to be. And I get that from my mum. My mum's got a hairline like me. She's grown her hair into kind of, she used to have locks, now she's grown it, and now I'm growing my hair, and I've realised I'm probably going on my mum's footpath, etc.
That's so refreshing. I know we have to wrap up.
So yeah.
But that's really refreshing, because a lot of the time men struggle with the idea of a strong female, maybe not openly and articulate that, but in my experience anyway, I can only speak from my experience, they struggle with that and aren't supportive of that. So for a man, it takes a strong man, a really strong man, to support a strong woman and let a strong woman be. So thank you.
Big up yourself.
Thank you.
So what events have you got coming up?
November the 3rd, I'm speaking at National Safeguarding Conference. And November the 17th, National Men's Day, I'm speaking in Leyton at an event. Other podcasts coming up, I'm blogging as well. My website is jossicare.co.uk or
Tell them in that camera
jossicare.co.uk or .com. Instagram's Jossy Care, Facebook and Twitter is Jossy Care, everything's Jossy Care. And as for more events, there's more to come that all are going to be linked and put on my event page on my website.
Maybe a book?
Yeah, I have an idea of a book about love, because the way I see love and feel it, I can actually talk about it for hours. So I've always had an idea and feeling that I'm going to write a book about love and how I perceive it. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I'm looking forward to this book.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you.
So, I really enjoyed this episode.
I did as well.
He's going to babysit for me.
Yeah.
My kids.
And name you as godfather for my kids when I have them.
Thank you.
Okay, so, well, we're going to have to wrap up now. Well, wrap up. Now it's the end, unfortunately. But we hope you enjoyed the show today. And make sure you do subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure you share, because sharing is caring. And until next time, we say...
Ciao.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Woman, you are the key. It's only natural. Woman, you are the start. You are the beginning. And that is a problem. That is a problem.